Hello. Happy holidays. Yeah. Black is a little clogged. Hello. Hi, Gary. Hi, Debrock. I need my reference photo. How's everyone doing? Hi, Sean. What's going on, everyone? So, today I'm just going to be painting the leather and probably some of these other small detail-y parts, but the leather belts and some other pieces is the main goal for today. I'll see how much other stuff I can get done, but I paint liquor. So if we're going for like a really tanned kind of black leather look, I'm using some of this blue green as like this kind of sky reflection. And then I'll work on weathering the edge of the leather. Right now, working on the center part where it's kind of like a dyed black, and I'll build up these reflections. Hola Ángel, ¿qué tal? No, no es mágica. Es muy fácil. Okay, so that's getting a bit of the shininess in. You can kind of see when I rotate the figure, you can see the light on the paint itself. Right where that shine is when I hold it like this is where I want that main reflection to be. And basically it should match where the reflections on his skin are, except for this piece up here, which has its own little curve. But same with the armband. So we'll get that light in there. Right? And I'm just trying to place the lights roughly Then I can work on blending them out. All right, so that's where my main reflections go. I'd like this one to be a little larger. So that's not white, that's sky blue. I'm not using any actual white in the paint. Just sky blue is my brightest light. Sky blue is it's the same tone I used in the skin actually. If you can, where did I do with the bottle? Oh, am I blind? I got so much crap on my desk. Here it is. So you can see that's that same light in the skin. Hi, Bright Minis. You can see I'm painting all the brush strokes in a like vertical or perpendicular to the actual leather itself. That's going to help give that texture as like leather like bends and cracks. It'll form those wrinkles, right? Just like I've got the wrinkles in my fingers. The leather does the same thing. So now I can glaze a little bit. Okay. I'd like, because I need to paint the cast shadow on this part of the belt, I want to get just a little bit of light here. Not too much, but just round that out a bit. I'm going to grab some more of this. This is like a brown gray. We'll get some of that brown gray mid-tone in the leather, so it's not like a quite pure black. It's pretty hard to see. It's very subtle, but okay. I'm going to soften this one just a little bit. This is where you'd really get those cracks and stuff. Bye-bye. Okay. Now, so that's basically how I'm going to do the like main section of the leather, right? Now we got to get some other tones in there to paint the like edge, right? So this is where you're going to get that like worn edge. I think I'll go with probably some English uniform. I need something slightly brownish. Actually, I probably just mix the English uniform. Hi, I don't know, Jut Dave. Then I need, we'll go with this. The actual color is not so important. It's just like I'm trying to get some ochre tones to do the worn parts of the leather. No, Albert, this is for the Secret Santa. Maybe next year. All right. So now I'm gonna paint this kind of rough. I'm like, let me zoom so you can see a little more what I'm doing. So now I'm gonna like kind of stipple the edge. I want a bit of an uneven texture as I go along the edge. And this is gonna be like the base coat for the like rough leather where the edge has been worn away in the tanning. I don't know what you call it. The like stain. If you stain wood, what do you do to leather? But anyways, the like whatever you put on leather to make it blacken. So this is where it's cracked and worn off from long years of wear. Come on, chat. This is where you're supposed to help me out, and someone's Google skills will tell me what you call the coloring that you put on. I assumed it's tanning, but right? Because that's what a tanner is, like the job, a tanner, someone who like makes leather. And we can create like a few spots that are like more exaggerated and maybe go all the way across. Hi, Sammy. Hi, Joe. I don't want to know how you do it. I just want to know what it's called. Okay, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. Now, you can grab a little bit of this yellow ochre, and we'll mix this yellow ochre and English uniform as the mid-tone for the hide. We're going to do the same thing, but leaving little spots of the exposed the base layer underneath. Oh, that's so loud. MJG, hello. Thanks for following. Right, okay. Okay, it's just dye. Thank you. It was a very long way of just telling me it's called dye. Synchronize, hello. Okay. Now some of this will be cast in shadow, but this part here is not, because you can see by the fur. So as it goes around towards the back, I'm just going to leave that base tone on the worn parts of the leather and just let that be the maximum light. Where these areas closer will be much brighter. Like this is actually in a lot of shadow, so I'm going to have to go back and paint the cast shadow in on this little tiny part where his head comes down and connects to this little shadow here. So it'll come across like that. So this bottom section is going to get a lot more light than the top part does. Basically like that. So actually, now that I think about it, like probably some of these holes would not be worn out if he never used them, but that's like a very small storytelling element that you could maybe include. Um, but yeah, whatever. Okay, now I'm going to take just a little bit of smoke. If you don't, smoke is a bit more of a, almost like an ink. It doesn't, it's not like a normal acrylic paint. And we're gonna add just a little bit of that dark tone on the transition between the black leather parts and the where it turns into the rough edge. Then I'm going to take some black just in a few of these areas where I want it like really to look like shiny black leather. I'm going to introduce some of that pure black in there. Here, and then I have this section to create the cast shadow. I'm going to take these two and just draw the shadow from here to here. I'm going to try and leave some of the rough edge. So you get just that like shiny bit. And his horn actually casts a shadow across this part of the belt. Like the tusk. And then connects to this small little shadow right here. And then a little bit of the fur casts a small shadow. And then this comes across like so. That one back there is much more subtle. Okay. And then see this one, this little hoof would make a little bit of a shadow right there. I do what I can, Albert. I do what I can. I feel it's just kind of become like a signature at this point. If I don't do it, I think people will be disappointed. No, that wasn't a glaze. The cast shadow. That's painted it right on. But yeah. So, anyways, that's how I'd do a leather belt. Pretty easy. I'm actually gonna grab. There's one little spot that I'd like to have just a little more light. So I'm gonna grab some of this dark sand. Yeah, if you just put everything in shadow, you don't have to paint it. That's how that works, right? Um, I have. At this point, I kind of just know what leather looks like. So, in the past, I've definitely looked at a lot of leather. now I'm able to paint it from memory, but I would definitely recommend, if you've, never done it before, don't trust me and just do exactly what I did. Look at pictures and use reference material. Yeah. So zoom out. You can see there's the leather strap. Strop. So we'll do the same process on his arm. I don't actually know if that's leather or not. Who cares? It doesn't really matter. Usually this time I'm just going to go ahead and take some of the smoke and mix it with the English uniform. And it's going to be very dark. You can see a little bit like the reflection of the camera. But we'll slowly build it up. Thanks, the bin man. All right. Don't compare your work to mine. Just enjoy the process, enjoy the learning, create your own thing. One of the things I think is great about Lucas's models is they're very open to your own interpretations. I certainly don't think, unless someone attempts to copy it, would not choose to paint their work like mine. And that I think is really cool. Like, yeah, I could have gone with the stereotypical green, but I've seen orange ones and yellow ones, and just kind of do whatever you want. The UK. Come over to the UK. All right. Maybe. I'm planning a few stops in Europe next year. Don't have any plans for the UK yet, but could possibly make that happen. All right, Albert, I'm down. That was an official invitation. It's on record. Everyone has seen it. Should I take a class from Albert? Teach me how to paint rocks good. Just saying, Albert paints the best rocks. It's a weird, it was a weird thing to like be like, dude, if there's one person that paints good rocks, but I don't know, whatever. You paint good rocks, man. All right. I'm going to add just a little bit more of the texture to the back of the arm band thing. Yeah, that's fine. Good enough. Okay, let's quickly do his like wristband. So for the wristband, I'm gonna just paint like the trim, this lighter leather. And then I'll paint the like straps, the ties. Lacing, that's the word I was looking for. So this is like going to be very dark back here. So that's fine. This is not like a super important element. I am going to paint a little dark line between the trim and the actual like center of the leather, just to help define that a little more. And we'll do some worn bits like around where the lacing goes through. And is rubbed against it. Okay. Put a couple little cracks and things coming into the actual wrist guard. Now that I'm thinking about this, so isn't this supposed to like, oh no, you would wear it on this arm, right? Never mind. I was thinking of like an archer's wrist guard, but they would wear the wrist guard on the arm with the bow to protect their arm from like the string snapping against it, right? Not the arm that's actually like holding the arrow. The draw hand. It's I think archer figures are the funniest thing because every time someone sculpts an archer figure, there's always some guy who's like into archery that complains about the way the character's like holding the bow or whatever. It's like, not every culture and like used the bow, like a bow and arrow the exact same way, right? But there's always that one guy. Like, that's not how you shoot a bow. How do you know how a centaur shoots a bow? Oh, Dan. Look, I've hung out with centaurs and orcs, and I know how they shoot bows. Okay? I will admit that like when I see a character holding a rifle and like the stock is like up over the shoulder next to the head, that does kind of bother me. But and not like in the shoulder. I mean, come on. If you're sculpting a stock on your rifle, like the point of it is to put it into your shoulder. AC Miniatures with the raid. Hello. Hi. Let's see if you're behind paywall or the ad wall. Mac readiness. Dana Celador 23 EDSA. Hello, hello. Welcome everyone. What's going on? Painting this figure. Rottweiler. Hi. Thanks for the follows, guys. What are we doing, AC? Right. So we got the little studs. Paint those up. Don't gotta get fancy with them. Right. And we're gonna use the same. Yeah, screw it. We'll go basically same colors. Not bad. Just wrap up some pre-Christmas stuff. Golden Demon prep. I've got a figure for Golden Demon. For Golden Demon UK or Golden Demon Adepticon? Or UK. Cool. I'm a Moose. Moose. I'm gonna go with Moose. Man, I'm gonna start like 2 weeks before. Lord Big Duck, thanks for following. So here's how I paint little rivets, and it's pretty simple. Paint like a little highlight, then I paint a little kind of little smiley face thing on the bottom of the rivet. If I wanted to be like ultra smooth, I'd maybe do this in like 5 layers instead of like 3. But most of this is kind of on the back, and it's going to go in a display case and never be seen again. Unless the person it's going to takes it out like a million times to look at it. I doubt I doubt they're going to be looking at the little rivets on the back of his hand very much. Maybe they will. But basically I paint a kind of small circle in the top towards wherever the reflection is, and then a little smiley face on the bottom of the rivet, and then I come back and I put a little dot in the top, like that. And that's how I paint a rivet. When you zoom out, looks like a rivet. Little pock knock. Easy peasy. Okay, what else we got? We got his belt buckle. Do I want to do his belt buckle silver or gold? I think I'm going to do it steel. Do you have a favorite piece from this year done by another person? Yes, he is the guy that chatted right above you. Anyway, yeah. I mean, if I was trying to be fancy, like I'd paint it in like 5 layers or something, probably, instead of like 3. But it also depends on the size of the rivet. But I think at this size, like, that's effective enough. If I wanted to do like, if I wanted to get fancy, I'd probably paint them in like 5 layers. The Dwarf Man. The Trudvang by Alan Diego Carrasco and Albert is my favorite. Is this a commission? No. This is a gift for a Secret Santa. Link it, Albert. Link it on. Give the Instagram. Well, the person doesn't know who it is. That's the main thing. The person who's getting it doesn't know that they're the one getting this figure, but the group knows that this is for Secret Santa. Let me read some. Nope, not gonna. Can it get? Yep. Thanks. Can it kick it? Can it kick it? And Letonics. Yeah, if you're not following Albert, you probably should be. What are you, living under a rock? I told you he paints good rocks. Okay. What's next? Oh yeah, the belt. Belt buckle. I'm just gonna go with silver because I don't know. Because that's why. I could have done really either or, but I just feel like doing it silver. Do I plan on? No, I do not plan on making AI inspired models. Absolutely not. I think there's way too many. All right, I'm gonna make this a short conversation because I don't want to get into like in-depth philosophical debate of intellectual property rights and everything with AI art. I think AI art is fine if you're using it to like express a concept to uh, like a sculptor or concept artist. So like you can use it to be like here's give them a rough idea of like here's kind of what I'm thinking. But in terms of like using it to actually sculpt, like create a model from, there's too much like uh, gray area where you could be trapped in like, oh, this is basically just like some famous painting or whatever work that it drew from to like seed the image, and then now you're like stuck by accidentally stealing intellectual property. Oh, night, Albert. See ya. Merry Christmas. All right. Don't want. So this part would actually not be super bright because the light is like this way. So I need to tone that down just a little bit. But anyways, that's my sense of like AI art at the moment. I don't think you should like. I think it's fine as a tool to express ideas, but for actual like commercial purposes, I think that's very sketchy at the moment. Night, AC. Thanks for the raid again. Enjoy your evening. Okay, now I need just a little bit, something just a tad bit brighter than that for just the last few little dots of highlights on the metal. This will be the brightest value I've used so far. Actually, I think I used a little bit of ivory on the teeth also, but put just a few little spots of brightest light on the metal. And I actually want to take a little bit of this, just increase the glaze some and increase the contrast a little bit more. Something like that. And I think I'm actually going to take just a tiny bit of the smoke and put that on there. And that's going to brown it out a little bit on the, with all that blue. Make it slightly rust, like tarnished looking. It's not like super perfect bright blue steel. I think he said, wait, what? Will you be competing or judging any of the competitions? Yes. I am entering into Golden Demon, and I will be judging P3. Good night, Dana. Calcian, thanks for the follow. Yeah, that's how I do steel, like that. That's, you know. So there's the leathery parts. I'm gonna go smoke, and we can work on some of this area a little bit. This I'm not that worried about at the moment. It's, you know, more of the same for the quiver. The turtle shell, whatever, and the bow. But yeah, so I'm gonna go smoke, and then all right, what do you want me to paint next? The bow or his like sash thing? I'll give you the option. Normally, yes, but his is not so much in the way. The bow, vote numero uno for the bow. I need a little bit of green for the bow because we need to change it up. Okay. Very well. The bow it is. It won't take long. We'll do this this thing, whatever the heck it's supposed to be. I don't know. Some little stick coming off his back at the same time. Yep. We went to PKs and the bow won. All right. I'm using just like an olive brown. Now I'm going to take a little bit of the yellow, a little more of the smoke to brown it out a little bit. So here I'm letting the brush strokes kind of do the work for me. If the If the hairs of the brush split, that's fine. It's just helping create that like wood grain texture on the bow itself. Then a lot of this down here would be in a lot of shadow. So I do get a little bit of light down on the top of the upward facing side of the bow as it gets closer to his body. But not a whole lot. It's not going to be as bright as the front of it. So basically where I'm painting right now is where you're going to have the most light. And you can see it in the reflection of the wet paint, right? Okay. A little more of the yellow, and then I'm going to add some of this like green yellow. Something like that. I'll add just a touch of this down here at the bottom. If I need to, I can glaze over that to tone it back down. I can take a mix of the previous two and just soften that out with a glaze, but still having the little bit of texture. I'll take some more of the green, and this time add a little bit of my sky blue that I've been using in my light mixtures the whole time. Something like that. I want this to be slightly more greenish. By greenish, I mean slightly more yellowish, right? Just to give color variation. Then I'll grab just a touch of the sky blue. I like that knot. And the top of the bow. Okay. Now we'll grab some smoke. Just glaze a little bit of that over it, just to restore some of that brown color back in. Not everywhere, just like in the mid-tones. There's a couple of notches kind of cut into the bow to create a sort of handle. Just go around and kind of edge highlight those. Add a little bit of the grain in the edge highlight just to give the effect that it's not perfectly smooth. That's a little bit of a mess in there. Let me just fix that. Where it meets his hand. Crisp up that edge. Make it really sharp. Okay, easy. Ta-da, bow. Done. Basically. A couple little spots I want to add a little more of that texture to it. Okay, now the bowstring. I'm never done. You're never done. Okay. And just need to paint a highlight on the front edge of the string. Basically, I'm going to do that just like you would an edge highlight. Just get the angle right. There we go. All right. Bow, done. What was that? Like 20 minutes? De Gruen Ibaren. No idea. Thanks for the follow. And also, Nadia Crisis? I don't know. Hello. Hi. No, it's the string is easy line. So it's added after. It's like a stretchy, so you can see like grab it. It's stretchy. It's like an elastic string. It's for doing like ship rigging and stuff like that on models. Strawfish. Hello. Okay. So that's the bow. Fetigirix? I don't know. Hi. You guys have the hardest names. It's not my beard hair, dude. It ain't. That's not what it is. All right, so I need to think, what color pants does he have? I'm working in very, very neutral, kind of desaturated skin tones, purples, browns. I don't want to go crazy with a really bright color. So I think in this case, yeah, probably something like that, Dave. Like a khaki kind of color. Seems reasonable. A Winga Minis. Hello, thank you. All right, so if I want to do burlap, first I need to get kind of color down that I want. I think we'll go, it's already kind of brownish, so I think I can just start the layer on top of it. We'll go with a little bit of the English uniform, maybe mixed with a little of the blue. Notice I'm using like a lot of the same colors. It's not, but I'm just changing them up slightly, right? So, anyways, mix. That's how easy way to harmonize colors is just reuse a lot of the same colors, but mix them in other locations. So instead of painting the texture immediately, I'm gonna just like quickly get some of the shapes and volumes in of the midtones. I think I need to darken this just a touch. That's good. That little bowel soup, Chris. Hi, welcome. Okay, just quickly sketching the volumes here. Now I have just a really subtle cast shadow of the belt on the pants. Okay, and most of this remains in shadow. There's a little bit of light. There would be a little bit of light right here on this fold. When I go in and add the texture, more of this will get a subtle amount of light to it. And then I'm just going to edge highlight that just to know that that gets edge highlighted. Jeez, Dave. I only got 11 months. Got to start working on my money project right now. Better get going. I know what you were doing. I was there. The concept is very cool. All right, so now I'm going to start just putting in like vertical lines. I don't know how much you can see that. I'll zoom in. I'll go way in. I mean, honestly, if you were having someone paint it for Monty, I would say, like, even if you were a faster sculptor, now would be a reasonable time to start working on it. I'm sure, well, this is secrets, but I'm sure Victor is starting on our SMC project pretty soon. So. Okay. First layer. Now I'm going to add just some of this deck tan or whatever. I don't know, dark sand, deck tan, whatever. Tan. It's tan. I don't quite like that angle. I'm going to go this direction instead. So basically, I can use the layering of the texture and just not include the texture as bright in some places to create the volumes. Right? Effectively like that. When I go upside down, And then final lights. Cryo Cheese, hello, thanks for following. What's up? Thank you. Good night. Thanks for stopping in. Okay. Pants. Done. Or are they topless? Maybe I want to put a glaze on top of them. Maybe I just want to put a little color over them. I'm allowed to do that if I want. You can't stop me. Okay, easy. Hi, Scott. I'm just going to go with Scott. Hi. My name. Oh, well, it's literally hi, my name is. You guys don't know. There's more underscores and spaces. I'm not used to reading. I think Germans are really good at reading Twitch names because they're used to just like shoving a bunch of words together. Hi, Bright and Bookish. All right, pants done. Now the sash. Le sash. To me, it doesn't really feel like leather. What do we want to do? The sash. I do need to paint just a little bit of cast shadow under the belt, which should be about this value. This one might be a little too, this might actually be a little too dark. I'm going to lighten that up a little bit. And just paint a line. A green sash. How green? That feels like that would be very distracting. Who's on my phone? Earth tones. I think I'm just going to do it like black. But not like the leather, just like actual black. Something simple because we're going to have to paint the rope. So instead of using the slightly bluish tone that I used, or the like turquoisey tone that I used on the leather, I'm just going to skip straight to like a gray. Hi, the Kilted Viking. How are you? I'm good. Just working on trying to finish up this figure. Probably finish it up tonight, honestly. It's, you know, just got like a few pouches and things left to do. I meant to paint that wooden thing on his shoulder when I did the bow, and I forgot. Of Conan? Conan? Of Conan O'Brien? Hi, Big Sharks. What's up? Are we talking about like the original movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger? The Arnold. Whoa, dude. What about Conan the Destroyer? With the weird ice wizard where Conan gets... We'd never have that hilarious gif of Conan of Arnold Schwarzenegger getting the big spin swung around without Conan the Destroyer. It's such a weird sequel with like the shaman guy got like recast as a white dude who I'm pretty sure was the guy who played Raiden in the Mortal Kombat sequel after Christopher Lambert got recast. So that dude got recast twice as like a I don't know. But basically, Conan the Destroyer was a bad movie. Long story short, but is Mortal Kombat Annihilation the worst sequel ever made? I've seen Speed 2. I don't think it's worse than Mortal Kombat Annihilation. And no, I've never seen Grease 2. Why would I watch that? See, Grease 1 would have to be like good for Grease 2 to be like the worst. Dumb and Dumber. I don't know if I've seen that one. Didn't they make a sequel that was like, I guess it would be a prequel, right? Didn't they do a prequel where they're like young when Harry met Lloyd or something like that? Trying to remember. I think that's the name of it. I'm sure there's some horror movies that are up there also in terms of like the like absolutely terrible sequels. The best sequel of all time is Aliens. I'm just going with that. Aliens is the best sequel ever. Or Evil Dead 2, which is like a weird sequel and a remake. In terms of how significantly better it is than the first movie. All right. So now what? I mean, Empire is great. Don't get me wrong. It's my favorite Star Wars movie, but I don't know if it's the best sequel ever made. I consider like sequel stepping up the first movie, you know? And the first Star Wars movie is really good. First is in, episode 4. Hi, Plarzoid. Thanks for following. Yeah, oh, that's a good one, too. Terminator 2 is pretty good. Yeah, well, I also consider Aliens like a significantly different. It's like a totally different genre. The first one's a horror movie, horror science fiction, and Aliens is like an action science fiction with like a bit of horror in it. Oh, there you go. The best sequel ever is if we're going off of the improvement over the original movie, would have to be The Road Warrior. Dude, Jason Takes Manhattan is one of the worst sequels ever. That movie is garbage. I guess there's a few criteria consider, like just total quality movie, or does it like really enhance the IP? I feel like that's kind of two different things. But yeah, I would say Aliens and Terminator 2 are definitely up there. Both of them James Cameron movies, actually. Interesting. Then he went and made a sequel to Avatar, which from what I'm hearing, might be one of the worst sequels ever made. All right, I'm gonna let this dry. I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette. You can. All right, finish these ropes. Oh, you know, it was a really bad sequel. All right, here you go. Boondock Saints 2. That was a pretty bad one. Did you guys even know they made a sequel to that movie? I'm not a big fan of the first one. I'm not a big fan, like, I think people overrate the first movie. It's not that good. And then they made a second one because of, like, the later cult hit of the movie. I don't really think of Kill Bill Volume 2 as a sequel. I kind of treat it as just, like, it's really just kind of meant to be one long movie. Roping. Rope done. Okay, now what? While I got the colors here, let's just do the little stick on his back. Just quickly. I like Kill Bill. It's definitely not my favorite Tarantino movie, but it's fine. Yeah, Godfather Part 3 is pretty bad. Crazy how they went from Godfather Part 2, which is also like kind of a prequel. Another one of those weird ones where it's both. There is no Highlander after Highlander 1. They don't exist. Oh, man. I forgot about the Pacific Rim Uprising. That, yeah, with John Boyega and Clint Eastwood's son. That one's pretty bad. Ham Daddy, thanks for following. Hello. I also pretend that I've never seen any of the sequels to the Starship Trooper movies. I'm gonna pretend those also don't exist. Thanks for the prime, Joe. I think Predator 2 also might be on my list of not great sequels. And if we consider The Thing prequel a sequel, that was pretty awful. Well, they're so bad that like you didn't even see them because they're like direct to DVD like trash films that somebody was just like, we need to hold on to the rights to this. So they just like put out literal like schlock. Fast Five is yeah, it's kind of like when the movie like reinvented itself. It's pretty good. I'm all right with the fast movies. Top Gun Maverick was Pretty good. I watched that on the airplane. I watched that on the airplane on the way to Italy, I think. Or maybe on the way back. I can't remember. It was either on the way there or on the way back, but yeah, it was a good movie. I had to search for it. So it must have been on the way there when we weren't sitting together. Otherwise, I think you would have seen me watching it. I didn't see the RoboCop remake. I would actually probably agree with that. Dread is so okay. Is it a remake or is it a reboot? I think Dread is technically like a reboot because it's not a remake because it's not the same story. It's just the same IP, and yeah, I would go with it's a reboot. Wait, 90s mummy? Okay, sure. You could probably say Batman Begins is up there in terms of reboots. Dave hates Casino Royale. Boing, boing, boing. What's up? Orc Boss Spooner, hello. And John Warwick. Yes, I use a wet palette. This is a wet palette. Right here. A new poker movie on Netflix. I have no idea. I think the only poker, well, no, that's not true. I watched, what is that? I was going to say, I think the only poker movie I've ever seen is Rounders, but then I've seen Molly's Game. That's a poker movie. Thanks for following, John. Maverick. I don't know what that is. All right. Little tooth. Ah. Never seen it. Don't know it. Okay. So I got a couple little pouches on this side. I don't even know what this thing is. I guess a pouch. More pouches. I'm looking at this one now, and I'm thinking might be a little too dark on the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some texturing. Like so. And I'm just going to glaze a little brown over top of it, like that. Lighten it up a little bit. All right, here's a lesser known sequel for you that's actually really good. The Color of Money is a fantastic sequel. No, it's just flat brown from Vallejo. Color of Money is a great sequel, and not a lot of people know that it's actually if you've never seen it, it's a pool movie starring Tom Cruise and Paul Newman. And it's actually a sequel to an older movie called The Hustler. Don't talk to me about Prometheus. I hate that movie so much. Sappho Koi? Hello. Thanks for following. It's probably a good idea. Blame the pig. Actually, honestly, I think our work would probably just claim it. Like, yeah, it was me. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, did all right. Thanks, Rod. MWG Josh. Thanks for following. And thanks, Rod. Thank you, Big Shucks. Appreciate it. Yeah, it was a pretty good show for me. I don't think I could have asked for any better. What the heck? Oh, thanks. Thanks, Shucks. Thanks for the 5 gifted subs. You really didn't have to do that. All that shows me is that Sean wasn't already subbed. Dave, you're brag baiting. He hasn't painted it yet. I have no idea what this little pouch is supposed to be. I'm going to paint it like a gray. We'll just go with this color. It's not really that important. Then we got a canteen thing. I'm going to use some red. A whole red, little, I don't know, purplish color. Gotta keep. That's not. I don't feel like squirting that all over the place. Okay. No, because we don't want it to be too similar to the skin. So we'll go with something like that. It's a little more red, not quite the skin tone. Just need something subtle. Actually going to go straight into white or ivory. I just need to get the surrounding edge highlighted. If I need to glaze over it to knock it back down to get it away from that skin tone, that's fine. Nah, this is just something I use for painting. See, you can see I've drilled another hole in it. I'm just using it to hold him. This is a temporary plinth. He's not like I can spin him. He's not glued in or anything. I'll probably put him on like an angled plinth when he's done. Okay, something like that. And then take a little bit of the purple, just glaze that over to knock down some of the shadows. And I want a little bit of warmth. Actually, I'm going to grab some of this contrast paint tone I used. Put that over the edges just to make them look a little more natural brown. It's like a yellow over that kind of purplish red. Really, this whole piece is not majorly important to the look, the final look of the figure, but just try and do something to it. And then, I don't know, I assume this is some kind of like cork stopper or something. Are we talking about what you're currently sculpting, Dave, or talking about your actual your body? Like, is your body just falling apart? And zoom into that thing. I don't know. Something little dotted, stippled texture, try and emulate some kind of cork effect. Might be a tiny bit bright at the moment, so I can let me dry it. So the only piece though, he's got little rivets. There's some metallic right there. I think that's it though. Okay. Ooh, that. Scrabs. Thanks for following. What's left? The left is pretty much just the two little details on the back, huh? So the little turtle shell and the quiver. There's a couple little things on the... I'm actually going to take some of this gray brown I mixed up here and just bring up the light on this where it's in shadow just a tiny bit. See, big shucks. My next project after the orc is on stream. I don't know if I can tell you about my next project, but my next project on stream I have not decided yet. It's either going to be, I'm thinking this lady. Think about maybe, no, you can't see that. I'm thinking about maybe doing her on stream. But there are other projects around. Thinking about painting her in like a Frank Frazetta style and doing like a style study on stream. Hey, Duff. Thanks for his Prime. What's up, man? You guys tell me if that would be interesting or not. Liam Paint Stuff. Thanks for Prime. yeah, I mean, if people are interested, I can do it. Otherwise, I don't know. All this purple. Get some of that. Some of this like gray. Just a little purple in it. I mean, the stream content is for you guys. That's why I say, is it interesting or not? It's not really for me, and the model is not. I'd just be painting the model for fun. So if it sounds interesting, that's something I could do. But I could also put like a poll in the Discord and see what if there's any other figure people would be interested in. That's cool, then. It's a cool model. I think it's a great figure to paint. Nothing really like too complex about it. Just nice, but I mean, there's a reason people like Lucas's figures, right? I keep saying it. People are a fan for a reason. Must be doing something right. That might actually be a little too bright for a white in shadow. I mean, it's a pretty neutral gray, but actually, you can that whole feather's in shadow or in light. So underneath, we can go more with a grayish tone. That one's not in light. This one's not in light. I want just a little bit of purple on this side to stick with that purple feeling that we have in the shadows. It's like a purple gray. But these two feathers actually are lit up. I'm going to go with like a very light blue, which means that arrow shaft is also lit. I did. I have a collector who wants to paint me to paint the dwarf for him, the dwarf mercenary. So that one will be coming sometime later this year when I get it in. I don't know. Let's add a little something to the feather. A little stripe or something, I don't know. The fletching. Yeah, that looks like shit. That looks like trash. And I hate it. Well, I mean, there's some other little stuff to paint on the back, but it's been about 3 hours. It's typically about how long I go. I don't know. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go smoke. I'm out of drink though. And I have to go to 7-Eleven, but I can last another hour while I finish the rest of the figure. So I'm gonna go smoke, and then I'll finish the work. I'll 100% done. So.